Her voice dripped through the speaker, sharp enough to slice bone. "If you want to join Thanksgiving, come wash the dishes," my daughter-in-law hissed. Not a laugh, not a joke, a command. I stared at the phone. Her arrogance echoed in the empty winter air of my balcony. A glass of untouched wine sat beside me, collecting the city lights like scattered stars in its surface. I had called to ask what time dinner would start, a simple courtesy, a father reaching out. Instead, I was given orders, dismissed, like a servant. I felt nothing at first. Then, the slow, familiar tightening in my chest, the cold pulse that always comes before clarity. "Enjoy," I whispered, and ended the call. Silence followed, thick, almost holy. The wind bit my face, watching, waiting, and I let it. Messages lit the screen, first casual, then demanding, then mocking. "You should learn your place. Family means helping, not being lazy. We don't need you there if you're not contributing." For years, they ignored me unless they needed something. A favor, a transfer, a signature. I was the old man in the corner, useful, disposable, forgettable. Tonight, I was done being useful. My phone buzzed again. A photo from my son, everyone smiling at the dinner table. Their perfect little family. A seat empty. Mine. A tight exhale left me, half laugh, half grief carved into stone. They had no idea where I was, what I had built, what I had become. Their world was small, mine global, silent, powerful, hidden. I picked up my other phone, the one no one knew I owned, and opened the security feed. My villa in Switzerland shimmered beneath the moon. Marble, glass, acres of untouched snow around it like a crown. I sent a picture back. Just one. The reaction was inevitable. Human greed always wakes fastest. The first call came in, then another, then 71 more. I didn't answer. I simply watched the sky darken and let the old life burn quietly in the back of my mind. Tonight was not the beginning. It was the conclusion. Thanksgiving wasn't where it started. It was where the mask slipped. Years ago, I thought I married loyalty, warmth, family. What I married was hunger. My wife's family saw me as a stepping stone long before I ever felt their weight. They played kindness like a violin, smiling wide while measuring what they could take. At first, I ignored it. A small business loan to her brother, her mother borrowing jewelry, her sister's casual jabs. "He's too quiet. Does he even have ambition?" I worked silently, built silently, rose silently. The less they saw, the safer my future felt. But loyalty has a strange way of becoming blindness. I started noticing details. A phone face down when I entered the room. Soft laughter from my wife at midnight in the hallway. A message she quickly deleted. A perfume not mine on her scarf. None of it proof. All of it poison. I asked once, gently, "Everything all right?" She smiled too fast. "Don't be insecure." And like a fool desperate for peace, I chose silence. Her family grew bolder. Decisions made without me. Vacations planned for couples only. I was not included. Thanksgiving invitations arriving last. I was the ghost paying the bills. But ghosts learn, and ghosts remember. I never confronted. I observed. Calmly, quietly. The way a knife lies still before sliding in. I reviewed records, not finances. I didn't need to. Money never wandered. People did. Phone logs, patterns, her hours, her tone when speaking to friends. A name repeated. Daniel, a colleague, a harmless contact, she said once, casually, when his name flashed while we watched TV. I traced airport logs, work travel schedules, location check-ins. Precision is not cruelty. It is survival. I hired a security firm I owned, through 3 shell companies to conduct a standard internal audit on financial integrity. She thought it was for the company. It was for her. They tracked nothing illegal, just immoral. Hotels in cities where she claimed board meetings. 2 rooms booked, always on his card. 1 suite, always adjoining doors. I sat at the dining table the day the file arrived. Leather folder, gold clip, black pages, evidence printed clean. I didn't shake, I didn't rage. Emotion wastes energy. Instead, I remembered the first time she kissed me, the way she promised loyalty, the warmth in her voice. And I pitied the version of me who believed her. The night I showed her the documents, she wore pearls. She always wore pearls when she wanted to feel superior. I poured her wine, smooth, gentle. "Do you love him?" I asked quietly. Her hand froze mid-air. "Who?" she whispered, but the color drained too fast for innocence. I slid the file across the table. A whisper of paper. A quiet funeral. She opened it. I watched her read. I watched denial shatter into recognition, then panic, then something uglier, calculation. Her mouth parted like she might beg, or lie, or both. But I spoke first. No scenes, no tears, not tonight. She closed her mouth, eyes shaking, hands trembling against pearl and glass. "Please," she finally breathed. "We are," I replied. Silence unfolded between us, heavy, final. She reached for my hand. I didn't move. Something inside me had already stepped beyond her. I did not scream. I did not accuse. I did not demand apology or grief. Weak men demand emotion. Powerful men decide outcomes. "I know your family thinks I'm small," I murmured. "Forgettable, dependent." Her lips parted. You could hear her heartbeat from across the table. "My net worth is 160 million. A tear escaped her then. Not for love, for loss. "And none of it," I continued, "is in your name." She gasped. A tiny sound. The sound of a world collapsing politely. "I always planned to give you half," I added softly, "before." Her legs buckled. Chair scraping, hand gripping the table for balance. "You can fight," I offered, "but I documented everything. Her affair, her manipulation, her family's freeloading." Her face crumpled, not broken, but exposed. This was not heartbreak. It was hunger meeting extinction. The next morning I left before sunrise. No shouting, no begging, no goodbye. Just a note. Greed always devours itself. I simply stepped aside. I flew to Switzerland. Snow swallowing sound. Mountains standing like gods in judgment. My phone vibrated endlessly. Calls, messages, apologies dripping like spoiled honey. I answered none. I sat in front of the fire, glass in hand, heat touching skin that finally felt alive again. They thought ignoring me made me weak. But solitude is not emptiness. It is evolution. And when I finally turned off the phone, I felt nothing but clarity. The world is quietest when you stop needing to be heard. I didn't lose a family. I removed parasites from my life. One truth remained, cold and clean as the alpine air. Some people only realize your value when they lose all access to it. And by then, it's already too late.